tonight, with like I said, top 5 men and top 5 women, things that both sexes do to ruin their relationships. To bring out the men, we are going to have one of our oldest but
Day
goodest
ones.
day ones, our super day ones. The home slice Arizona Ron is in the building. Shout out to Arizona Ron. What up, Big
What it
Mike?
do?
Yo,
What it do,
yo,
Arizona? What it
yo,
do?
yo.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, I gotta bring the claps
Welcome to
in, right?
ADU.
Wake on the ADU, and then look to our day ones, day twos, our day ones. No, this is real talk. My day one, A1, day one. She changed my pampers. Look, D thinks out loud to take care of the women's side.
Hey,
Not
welcome,
side,
welcome.
women's side. Hey, boo.
Hey.
Hey, well, look, before we get rolling into this, because it's going to get super spicy. Look, they put titles on it, and as weird as it sounds, they consider themselves a couple. You're right, 110%. Look, whoever wants to go first, y'all decide. Or let's say Ron, polyamory. Willow Smith, 20 years old, talking up. Yes, we've dated multiple women at a time. We didn't call it polyamory. We didn't call that shit. We called it dating. I'm gonna look, Ron. Ron, I know it's really. What do you think about this
We called it
polyamory?
Friday night. We called it Friday night.
With this Willow Smith on the Red Table Talk, bro. What are you saying?
Well, first I gotta say, appreciate y'all having me on. But I think because I don't have the full context of this situation, but I just always think she's 20 years old. Like scientifically, like her brain ain't even really developed all the way fully yet. I mean, they say our brain don't develop all the way until we like 25 years old. So I don't know. It sounds
calling her
a little.
stupid.
No, I'm not calling.
She's stupid.
I'm not calling her stupid. It's just that I'm a person. I be doing my little reading or whatever the case may be, and they say our frontal cortex don't develop until we 25, which is the ones we make real rational decisions out of. So it's like when you're 20 years old, you don't know nothing. I think about when I was 20 years old, I would think I was like damn near retarded. Me making a lifetime decision or trying to come up with some polyamorous relationship, like how y'all describing it, that's what every 20-year-old was doing, basically. We just doing it. We don't have the name of it, but
I gotta play this sound, man.
Shout out to the underdeveloped frontal cortexes.
It's like she not. I don't think she's too young, man.
Hey, D, talk. Please help me out, please.
I think that Willow is like, to me, every time I watch her on that show, she's like a flower child. She's just like, I could go with anything.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like Kev said, she's been exposed to so much. And, more than any of us were exposed at that age. And so she's all this free love. I can love anybody, kind of thing. But the dangers in that is, people gonna start, marrying trees and shit. It's just people can fall in love with a damn granola bar. You go real too far with it. You know what I mean? So as far as polyamorous is concerned, hell, I was in a polyamorous marriage and didn't know it. You know what I mean? Like, he was screwing out of both pants legs with somebody else. So, I feel like this. Get your date on. Now, as a single woman, I want to give women the inspiration to date as freely as they want to, because we've been taught to save it and preserve it for that one man. On the other hand, you all have been taught to sow your whatever, to sow it. You know what I mean? To spread it around, to figure out, to conquer as many as you can until you decide which one is the one. So all that saving it shit, I just feel like this. Look, it's like buying a car. You gonna test drive a couple of them before you decide, huh? And I'm saying it now. I'm talking at 50 now, but. Yeah, all that saving it for the right one. Listen.
But I don't even believe girls was ever thought about that, because they've been out here in the streets all this time. I don't care what rules you was
out in the streets. They call it murder.
What generation you talking about? That depends on what generation you talking about.
Wait. we are going to talk about. Look at Ryan. You getting in the camera, bro. The top 5 things men and women do to ruin the relationship. Now, the great part about it and the twist is that I don't know, Hef don't know. Only these two guys
Nope.
know. Only these guys know. Let me get my fingers right. Is that right? These guys what we're going to be talking about and what the top 5 things are. You pulling up. You about to get saucy.
Hey man, I gotta get ready for this one, man.
Stay with me, players. Stay with me. Chat, you don't want to miss this. So look, the way we're going to set this off is one from each side, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to, I promise you, we're going to agree to disagree. Some of them we're going to agree to, some of them we're not, but we need to dive deeper into it because sometimes some of the things that we think that the man is doing, the woman is doing, sometimes the woman is doing, the man is doing. I know they're going to intersect in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So without further ado, as always, DJ White's in the building. What up? What up, DJ White?
So I say, when you kick it off, K Dizzle, to our lovely guests tonight, you know, obviously they're gonna represent for both of their sides of what they think, and then I guess me and you can moderate and give our 2 cents.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right,
So,
let's do it.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Foremost and always. Okay.
Let's go.
D, what's your
She
number
going all
5?
in.
What's your number 5 thing that women do to ruin the relationship?
No, that
That
men.
women do.
Oh,
Was I
that
supposed to
men.
talk about
No. That men
do?
do. That men do. I'm sorry. I forgot. We
Oh,
watched
my
Sex
number
No.
5. So we're starting from the back. We're starting backwards. Okay.
5.
My
Yep.
number 5 was you don't listen. You don't listen. You hear, but you don't listen to understand. Listening requires you not just using your ears, but your heart and your mind. Understand where she's coming from. You don't listen.
Ooh.
What you got, Ron? What you got?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a
You
minute.
you
So,
want my rebuttal or
yes.
No, you just
or
The
you want
rebuttal. Give
my
the rebuttal,
my
please.
rebuttal is, I mean, we can say that both for men and women, because it's like in my case, I mean, I'm sure you know I'm a man, so I only dated women. I'm a heterosexual male, so I only dated women. So it's like women, they don't listen. They don't want to. They don't want to hear. They don't want to. They listen to a degree. Some women listen. I can say it, but they listen to a degree. They got to. I learned that for a woman to really take heed to what you say, she got to respect you. And I think a lot of times when the relationship the respect get lost, so they just stop listening. So that's my only little rebuttal right there.
So you said so for women to hear the man,
they gotta respect you some way, and it depends on what kind of woman it is to respect. Because some women respect money, some women respect emotional intelligence, some women respect sex. So it depends on what kind of woman you got. But I just feel like if you don't respect somebody, you shouldn't even be messing with them at all.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Okay, so what if the woman is speaking to the man and he's not understanding what she's saying and he's trying to listen? What if all that he hears is the barking? He doesn't hear. What if the woman just barks all day? Okay.
Well, that's another thing. It's a lot of nagging women out here, man, and I don't think they understand like how bad that can be. Even in the Bible, would say a man rather live in the steeple of the house, in the attic of the house, than to live with a nagging woman. And it's just like I don't think women understand that a lot.
Malika said that's all 5. Let's make sure KB.
You did it the first time. She wouldn't have to say it a second and third time.
Right.
You didn't listen.
Right.
You did not listen.
So
and that's how they become. That's how what a woman starts to become white noise when she keeps repeating certain stuff. And it's like we don't even hear you no more.
So now, is it him not listening, or is it not? Was it the delivery? Because because is it the delivery, or is it him not listening? Because like you said, there are plenty of women out there that nag, and it does to men become white noise. So is it the delivery? Don, is it the delivery or
it could be the delivery. You're right. If someone is talking to you at an elevated tone, I'm not listening. You follow what I'm saying? I'm waiting to respond, or I'm waiting to respond the same way. I'm gonna meet you with the same energy that you give me. Mm-hmm. But nagging, sometimes what you all think is nagging is a woman almost pleading with you to do something different. And you think she keep asking me. Like, if I have to ask you too many times, I'm not talking about things like taking out the trash or doing things like that. It's like, listen, it affects me like this when you do this. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have, if I tell you that it makes me feel this way when you do A, B, and C, you should say, okay, I hear you. I'm listening to you. I'm going to work on that. But if I have to keep saying it, then I have to internalize and say, he doesn't give a damn.
That's only with certain.
Okay, so D thinks out loud said her number 5, and Arizona, you gave your rebuttal. What's your number 5, Arizona? What's your 5th reason or the 5th way women ruin their relationship?
I feel like they just don't stay consistent.
Consistency.
And they don't stay consistent.
Whoa! So consistency is, and I see Malika Shanae in the comments. D thinks out loud definitely was hitting some good points. We're gonna get right back to her. My man Arizona said consistency. Go ahead, Arizona. How you feel about that?
Loaded, bro.
I just don't think women stay consistent with when they get real comfortable in a relationship, which I know somebody in the comments about to say men do the same thing, but I feel like women just don't stay consistent sometimes.
Give me an example, bro.
Come on.
All right. I don't know if this is a good example, but I remember when, like, on Martin, when Gina was like, she ain't got to dress up no more because I got my man, so she just, every day it's a bonnet. Every day is just the same old big grandma drawers or everything. So it's like, it's no consistency. Like, the thing that you got that kept me, you did it to catch me, and that was it. And it's like, you're not doing it no more.
So the consistency, you can say not just dressing, but what about intimacy as well?
Yeah, with the intimacy that can happen as well.
Hold on, slow down. We can't. We doing one at a time.
one at a time. I'm gonna be honest.
One at a time, please.
I can't speak on the intimacy part too much because I never been in that position. The girl was always willing to, so I never really had that problem. But also too, I haven't been in no real long term relationship, so I don't know how it is 10 years. I probably know how it is in 4 or 5, but I never really had that issue with the intimacy. But I'm saying, just far as like just keeping yourself up and stuff like that, it'll evaporate after a while. And I get it, people go through depression and stuff, but I still gotta be a fan of you.
So what you're saying is the things that she did, Arizona, to get you in the beginning, that got you hooked, she not doing it anymore.
Right.
And that's where she has to stay consistent.
Yeah, like when you go on dates, it's like she's not dressing the same she used to dress no more. It's like,
she not smelling good like she used to. She not going the extra mile to put the perfume on.
Gotta smell good. She just ain't like her fly went down a little bit. Like, dang, what happened?
So D, what's your rebuttal to his 5th reason when he says consistency? What you think about that?
He may be true. That there's a fine line between being complacent and comfortable.
Oh,
so you should be able to be comfortable. You should be able to be comfortable with your man, but complacent is I don't have to do anything anymore. That's not true. But again,
that's real. That's real shit right there.
Let me go here because I gotta go in for my ladies. We are the child birthers.
Right.
We are the workers. We are the you understand what I'm saying? So we're carrying multiple hats. And this whole thing about being this, we got to be a vixen in the bed and a savage in the boardroom and a mommy to the kids. We're juggling all those things. And most of the time, you all get to just be the breadwinners. You just
Hey,
get to
Kay,
go
she
work.
coming with it tonight, Kay. You told me
just
she
get
was
to
gonna
go to
come
work.
with it.
You follow what I'm saying? And so, but we got to juggle all these things now. And then we got to be a sex kitten at the end of the day. And so I'm not saying that we can't do more work. There are more black women. I'm speaking about more black women now because I'm a black woman. But back in the gym and we're juggling it all. But we don't want no big ass beer bellies either.
Okay.
Man,
You understand what I'm saying? We want you to be just as consistent about your bodies,
right,
and about the way you look.
Touche.
Because the scruffy beard and you receding hairline and you I mean it's things the dirty fingernails.
Check.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's certain things. We need you to be just as consistent. So here's the deal: couples have to keep each other accountable. Period.
Oh, she's preaching tonight. So we got consistency and we got men don't listen. Kay, how you want to summarize the first round?
Oh man, she went for the headline, bro. That was dangerous. No, I can't even call it, because here's the problem. They are both good reasons on why, but both of them have competing arguments, meaning that
it was really good.
Meaning that the listening part, it's complex to it because there's so multiple facets in it. Are we listening to be heard, or are we hearing to listen? And there's a problem with men and women on that side. Then consistency goes into that comfort, like D said, that comfortability goes into that consistency, thinking that things are okay with the way they are, and I can kind of let my hair down. Because look, shout out to the moms, the wives, the shout out, because I know it's one of the hardest jobs to ever do. I would never want to, and I'm being honest, shout out to my wife, I would never want to switch places with her, because I understand what she goes through. And if I hustle the way that I gotta hustle, I try to match what she does at home. So consistency and listening are both skills that we both need to work on. And I think with the right communication, which it all boils down to, those things can be fixable. Those things can be fixable. So
that's why I said, could I get a nap before I be a sex kid?
Can I get a nap before I be Good question. Good question from the chat. Nah, but I think our first two waves were definitely hit on the head by Arizona and D. Men don't listen. And by hearing D thinks out loud's tone in her voice,
somebody ain't listening.
Somebody definitely didn't listen once or twice.
Shotty,
because what up, Shotty? But definitely communication, and I don't want to use up any of your other reasons for the rest of the game. But let's go. What's number 2?
All right. Number 4.
Oh, you're right. We're going backwards. You're going
top
backwards.
5 things that men do to ruin a relationship. Number 5 was they don't listen. What's number 4? Give it to me straight.
Not you talking about me. Not communicating his true feelings.
Okay.
Not communicating his true feelings. Like, I do respect Ron. That was hard for Ron to say.
Can I ask you a question really quick?
What?
When you say not communicating his true feelings, is it he's feeling a certain way and not saying it, or is he not expressing himself properly?
But kind of both. So a lot of times men tiptoe because you don't want to hurt feelings.
Oof.
Just like Ron, he was being very nice. He was like, women are not consistent. He really wanted to say, women let themselves go. You know what I mean? But so my whole thing is, if your goal is to be a couple and last forever and ever, to death do you part, then the bottom line is you have to be vulnerable enough to and communicate how you really feel. Ain't no tiptoeing around it. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, communicate how you truly feel. Because when you hold that back, there's a level of resentment that builds up in you.
Well, thank you for saying that.
And I'm gonna give an example. I was married for 10 years, and I used to cook meatloaf. And it was a staple in my house.
Shout out to the meatloaf.
And took it to work every day. And
you cooked it the whole 10 years?
I cooked it. It was a staple in my house, like spaghetti, like fried chicken, like You understand? And he never told me he didn't like it until we got into an argument. And one day he said another damn thing. I don't like no goddamn meatloaf. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Feelings hurt.
But he thought telling me he didn't like meatloaf might have hurt my feelings. But it wasn't. Just I was gonna pick something different. You follow what I'm saying? You have to be honest and communicate how you really feel. So that's my number 4.
Hold on. Tell a story about the meatloaf, Donnie.
I already said the meatloaf.
Hold up. Do you put ketchup on the meatloaf or gravy?
I can do either or, baby. I can burn. Let me tell you something. I put Lipton onion soup mix in that bad boy.
Tell a story, Donnie.
It wasn't that the meatloaf didn't taste good. It was that there's some things you don't like. He just didn't like meatloaf.
Right.
But he never communicated it to me.
Yeah, I get that.
So Hef, I have to tell you this story because my sister will not let me live it down. Anytime we get inebriated enough, okay, every cookout, every event, she tells the story how she cooked this meatloaf, right?
No, it was a pot roast.
It was a pot roast. I'm sorry. It was a pot roast, okay? Yeah, you just got me thinking about it. She tells a story about she made this fantastic pot roast. I'm a teenager. I'm young. I'm in the house. I ate the whole damn pot roast. Ate the whole fucking pot roast while they were out. She came back and she cursed.
Who ate the pot roast?
I ate the whole pot roast. This was 30 years ago. Okay, 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
You ate it at one time?
Yeah, I ate it all by myself. So
no carrots, no potatoes, no onions, nothing.
We still hearing that cookout 30 years later. All right, let's go on. Ron, your number 4 of your top 5 that things that women do to ruin their relationships. Go, Ron.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off by saying this. I feel like women might be a little more faithful than men. They might be just by a smidget. But I feel like it's a difference from a lot of women ain't loyal. Ooh. And I'm gonna say it like this: it's a difference between being faithful and loyal. And the reason why I'm saying this, and I'm saying this because a woman will tell her husband business to her friends like it ain't nothing, and a queen should never tell the king's business to the peasants. And I feel like that happens a lot in relationships. And then your friends weighing in on situations that they are not qualified to weigh in on. Because just because it's your best friend, they don't have the right to weigh in on your relationship. So I feel like a lot of women always go to their friends, not even the right level-headed friends. So that's just my number 4.
Ron says the number 4 thing that women do to ruin their relationship is not to be loyal.
I don't feel like they loyal when it comes to their friends. They might be faithful.
Ooh,
lack of loyalty. What you think, D? What you think about that?
I think we do. Until we become mature, we do tell everything sometimes. I think because we're emotional, we're kind of y'all emotional too, but I think because it's okay for us to talk amongst each other. We do confide. We do have girlfriend talks or whatever. But as she gets older, she learns to decipher and to discern what to tell and what not to tell. So that's something that you outgrow.
But what do you think about loyalty though as a whole?
I think to me that's not being disloyal. That's just a woman communicating to her friends about how she feels. It's no slight against her man. It's just how we communicate. We exhale, we talk. That's what women do. And so, but what happens is after you tell the bad stuff, you have to run back now and tell the good stuff because people hang on to the bad stuff. So,
and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. That's where the loyalty lies. Because it's like you over here spilling bad tea to your friends, but you never big me up or you can't.
But you got to run back and build them back up because people hold on to the negative stuff that you said, but they don't. But you got to follow back up with the good stuff that's happened. So I agree with that a little bit.
Every friend is not qualified to hear what goes on under our roof.
Absolutely.
So we got D saying men can't communicate his feelings properly. Arizona said there's a lack of loyalty. K, what you think?
That just hit on what we talked about before. Who you're talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking to the right people? Are they in the right corner? And are you leaving them hanging? And that just
see our archives. We talked about that.
Yeah, a lot of controversy within your relationship. So that can definitely ruin a relationship without a doubt. Donnie's number. What was it? Donnie's number 4. We give that back to
men not communicating his feelings.
Men not communicating his feelings. That's tough because most men have never been taught that. They have never been taught that from growth. Like I said, we live in a dominant society where women are taught one thing and men are taught another thing. Thank God that the newer generation is a little more open, a little more flower child.
But let me put you on the spot though, okay?
What up?
Is that a woman's fault that men probably wasn't taught that? Is that her fault?
Is that a woman's? No, it's not a woman's fault. It's a man's fault for not, for one, not seeking it out how to deal with his emotions and not how to being able to communicate properly to a woman. Because if you don't have the right people in life, again, talking to, then you just sit there with all that pent up frustration. You take it out on the woman that you love, and they become the dumpster that you dump all that stuff onto, and it's unfair. And it's super, 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 super unfair to the woman. So they can do that, and they can ruin a relationship with a woman. Not only just the relationship, they can ruin the woman as a whole. So
good answer, good stuff. So to round out the fourth answer, men don't communicate their feelings by D thinks out loud. He did not like the meatloaf. She made it clear he didn't like it. He still ate it. He didn't like it.
Shout out to Malika.
The pot roast.
Shout out, no, the pot roast was me. Shout out to Malika for coming at me in the comments about the goddamn pot roast. I appreciate it.
And then Arizona left off with lack of loyalty. So let's go, D, with your number 3.
Okay. Number 3 is I think men stop valuing the relationship and valuing the woman. I think that just like a man can take, a woman can take. We get complacent, like Ron said, right? Or we get comfortable. I think men do the same thing, and you take for granted that she chose you. You know what I mean? Still honor her, still love her, still show her that she's needed and that you adore her. So the longer we stay in a relationship, he seems to take for granted that you do all the things that you do. I want to be valued every day in my relationship. So I think men stop valuing women.
Okay.
I really don't even have a rebuttal for that.
Now you gotta have a rebuttal, Arizona. You gotta have something.
I really don't have a rebuttal for that one because it's just like I done been that guy that just was
like, hey, can that be tied? Look, now let me play devil's advocate, right? Can that devaluing be tied into the consistency that Ron talked about?
A few things, but yeah.
That's what I was about to hint at that, but it's like sometimes it is kind of
value a car. I've seen you love on it, clean it, work on it. You follow what I'm saying?
You just said we got to test drive them.
Hello.
Why wouldn't I treat it like a car? My car just let itself go. Just shocks start leaning and tires get bald. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna look at it differently?
I can't argue with that.
You let the car go. You'll take responsibility for letting your car go. You don't take responsibility for letting your relationship go.
Now let me ask you a question, D, before Arizona gives his number 3. If you start valuing your relationship first, can the man start valuing it at that point?
No, somebody got listen. If you both stop valuing it at the same time, then the relationship is over. So somebody got to fight for it. Somebody got to fight.
But you stop valuing a relationship first, though.
But then listen, she has to. Then you have to find out, baby, what's up. What's going on? Is this not what you want anymore? I mean, before everybody walk away, you got to make sure that everybody is in agreement to walk away. And let's get to the reason why she stopped valuing it.
Okay.
I mean, that's back to the communication. Let's be mature adults about this.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. All right, Arizona, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is I wish more women would practice emotional self-control in a relationship. Now, let me just say this as a disclosure. I don't know what it's like being a woman. I don't have one. I don't have.
It's too late.
I don't have a period. I don't understand some things, but I do understand. Like, it's just like sometimes when a woman flies off the handles, she just flies off the handles, and there's no way that you can even bring her back. You just gotta let them go off or leave or whatever the case may be. But I just know, like, I always see women have a lack of emotional control.
Ahab, I'm out. I grew up with 4 sisters. I got 4 women in my house plus my wife. I cannot answer this question.
I mean, so my biggest thing is, so you're saying, Arizona, you don't think we don't expect that though as men going into those relationships? Not to put you on the spot, but like, if you're saying women lack emotional self-control, do you tend to put up with a woman going off at the handle at every turn, or what would you do?
Well, for one, you got to take in the context of the situation that she might be flying out of control about. And I was raised that that I'm not saying this in a bad sense, that women are like the weaker vessel when it comes to the male and female dynamic. So I feel like sometimes you got to be a little more understanding towards, because I just think sometimes I don't see girls make a bad situation way worse when they could have just let it go. But it's just like, I think they be so emotionally invested sometimes they just can't let a certain situation go. Now, I'm not saying some men do that, but in most cases, I just always seen a lot of women just take one little situation and blow up. I feel like women would make excellent suicide bombers, because it was just like they know how to make one situation that's this small and it'll go bad.
Hey, K, hit the button and save them now, K. Save them in Arizona now.
I know your comments are on fire. I can't see them, but I know they are. I know they are.
So what's your rebuttal, D, to the emotional self-control or lack thereof?
I think Black women in particular have always been labeled angry, emotional, hostile, confrontational. I think that's a label that we're given. And some of us, before we mature, do live up to that. Do live up to it. Okay, I'll give you that, Ron. I'll give you that one.
I'm going to say a lot.
I'll give you that. And that's only because we have to deal with everything that is thrown our way, and we're told to suck it up and keep on moving.
But what y'all think we was doing?
Suck it up and keep on moving. I mean, like my brother said, he was in a house with 4 women. He saw his sisters were single mothers before they became married mothers. Right. He saw the struggles of abandonment and daddy issues. And I mean, you got to understand when you talk about us being emotional, where the emotional stuff is coming from now.
Right.
We need y'all to be our protectors. And a lot of times, the same stuff that we got from our daddies, we getting from these men in these relationships. Right. You follow what I'm saying?
And
which makes us fight to be heard, to be seen. You follow what I'm saying? To be protected. When a woman is emotional, most often she's not feeling protected.
Right. And that's where I was saying with the whole, I don't know if you took it the wrong way when I was saying the whole weaker vessel thing. At the end of the day, when you're a protector as a man, you understand a woman can't hold certain things on her shoulders like how a man could.
We've had to do it though.
Exactly, because they say pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. So,
but I get what you're saying, but more men have to learn how to lead and protect.
And that's
But let
And
me ask y'all this.
And I'm gonna give you an example, because when I think out loud and I say stuff that men don't like, a man will jump in and I have to go toe to toe with him. The women will come in for me and protect me. Not one man. They will send me sidebar comments. They will go in my DMs and say, "Yeah, he was tripping. I don't know what's wrong with him." No, check him.
Check him up front.
To be protected.
Okay. So with that being said, let me ask y'all both the question. If the man's lacking, like, self-control emotionally, right? Do you think a portion of that's because maybe he was raised by his mother or his grandmother and he didn't have a father at home? And could that be a reason too?
I think it can be that, but also too, it's a lot of men that if their father just didn't raise them the right way, because every male ain't raising the male the right way. It can be some guys with a present father. He can have an emotional father that punch holes in the walls and do all that, because I feel like that's emotional too. But yeah.
Okay. What you think, Kay?
No.
We got stop valuing the relationship, and we got emotional self-control.
Nah, you got me analyzing every single round. I don't know why, sweet baby Jesus. But repeat those again for me, please.
So D said men stop valuing a relationship. This is number 3. Mm-hmm. So we're turning the corner now. And Arizona said women lack emotional self-control.
Women lack emotional self-control. Men stop valuing women. Yes and yes. Men stop valuing women, and they don't understand why. Well, they stop valuing them and don't understand that it's their fault for stop valuing them, because what Ron said about the consistency, we're blaming it on something else when we're not even looking at ourselves and understanding why we think we're losing value in them. Women and emotional stability. Yes, some women are flat out crazy, and some women don't know how to talk to a man and get him to do what they need him to do, because sometimes they don't have, or they haven't had a good example. Women are emotional creatures. We always say that, and we have to understand that. And so we don't look for the reason why they're saying it. We only hear the barking, the nagging. We only hearing the raising of the voice. And so we trying to meet the smoke with the smoke, and it just falls into that same thing. Now I seen my little sister Tiff came in. Men don't know how to field and channel that passion and intensity. That is facts. We just don't know. We just don't know how to hear it. And we don't know how to listen to what they're saying, internalize it, and figure out why they're saying it the way they do. Going back to number 5, men don't listen. It just goes back to all of these are running into each other, and so they're both extremely valid points. And I'm excited to see where we go in number 2 and number 1. So number 2, let's go.
All right.
Shout out to Isaac. Go ahead. You good?
Number 2 for me was be present in the relationship. Be present. Yeah. Be present. Be present. Date me, court me, love me. Be present in the relationship. Men can be in the house, but not be present. You understand what I'm saying? Not be present in the family, not be present, be preoccupied with all of that stuff. Be present. We want the same thing. I'm hitting back with Ron. Same thing you gave in the beginning, all the effort that you put out to get me. I need you to do that to keep me. So be present.
AD, that's a lot of me. You sound like T.O. out here. That's a lot of me.
Nah, I'm just saying.
Very demanding over here.
Be present, baby.
Goodness gracious. Date me, court me, love me, and take me.
No, I'm not saying that she doesn't give it out. But date me.
I'm messing with you.
I have a rebuttal for that, but it's my number 1.
Then save it.
No, save it. Save it.
But
save it.
Why you gotta save it?
That's number 1.
I can go to my number 2.
Go to your number 2, bro.
Now yours was being present, right?
Uh-huh.
I feel like mine rhymed with yours. I feel like a lot of women are not pleasant. Like, You don't have to be my peace,
Oh
but be peaceful.
man,
This is great.
You don't have to
Oh,
be my
you don't.
peace, but be peaceful.
I
So
like that.
you don't always have to be, Mother Teresa or whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying, sometimes just be my peace. You can't meet an irate situation with. You can't be irate with an irate situation. Sometimes just be there to maybe calm me down or be a little more understanding or just be a little nicer when it comes to certain things. Now I understand. I know it's a lot of things that can go into play there, but I'm just saying in my experience, I haven't noticed a lot of women being pleasant. They just and it comes with they think like being spoiled is like I gotta kiss your butt all the time, and it's just like no, just be nice and pleasant, and we'll have a great, fantastic relationship. We keep
So
that
you
tempo
saying?
going.
So you saying Arizona women start becoming just real angry and unpleasant to be around and to
I
be
don't
with,
want
and
to
that's why
use
the
the word.
relationship
Oh,
falls apart.
I don't want to use the word angry. It's just like it goes into what we was speaking about earlier. Start to be a little nagging or a little just
Okay.
it's always an issue when it could just be
I
like
think that's a maturity. I think that's a maturity thing, Ron. I honestly think there's a difference between being a girl and being a grown woman. And once you know who you are, you'll
right,
give that same energy. Like I think a lot of things that you said, some women aren't pleasant, but you got to dig deeper and find out what's going on with them. And
right,
maybe a man don't want to help her unpack her bags. And I'm not saying that that's your job, because then this will roll into my number one if I said what I want to say to really address that. But I just think that that's a maturity issue. You, if all you're running across are angry, unpleasant girls, then you gotta start finding some pleasant, mature women.
right.
Yeah. Or find out what happened, right? Find out why she went from
Yeah.
being happy to being upset and nagging.
Or look at myself. Well, why I keep attracting them type of women? So I look at stuff like that too.
And that's where they roll into my number one.
It's now hold on.
That's a
Look at
that's a
this.
good that's a good thought.
Let me just say this. I'm not speaking on just my personal experience. I'm talking on the consistency of when I'm speaking with friends, when I'm
Yeah,
speaking with
yeah.
other women, because I talk to women a lot too. I'm not one of them guys. I don't really like to hear a lot of stuff from guys because we a lot of times we don't know how to. I don't. It's not saying that I don't like to hear, but a lot of times we don't know how to articulate ourselves, even to our friends. Forget the girl that we in love with. We don't know how to articulate ourselves for our friends.
Well, that
Or
goes back to what D said about communicating your feelings.
right.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Ugh.
We getting there, man. We coming around to number one. That was a good round, K. I gotta say, man, be present. Like Tiffany said, and D said, be present in your relationship. Don't be absent. Don't go missing in your relationship,
Ooh.
fellas. You gotta be there for your woman. And ladies, Arizona said, just be pleasant. Stop being so mean. Stop being so upset because I fell in love with you and you were nice to me.
Right.
And now you an asshole.
Be my. You don't. You.
I know it might be because of me. I know I might have caused you to
He
be
said,
this way.
"Hey, Ron said you ain't got to be my peace. Just be peaceful."
that's some G shit right there.
Yeah, I love how these are rolling into each other. All right. Let's get to
Number one.
Number one.
D
Number
thinks
one,
out
it
loud.
is not a woman's job to make you happy. Happiness is an inside job. More than it's too much weight. Too much weight is put on a woman to keep a man happy. Nigga. Oh, I'm sorry. Man.
No, just say it.
Well, at least she waited this long.
Yeah.
B, make your own self happy. Like who you are. That's too much weight to be putting on somebody to make you happy. Too many men use an excuse. Well, she's not making me happy. That's your job, fool.
Yeah.
Get a hobby. Go do something. Happy is all relative. I could be happy with a damn cheeseburger.
So you saying it's not? So you saying it's not your job to make your man happy?
It's not my job to make him happy. It's my job to meet him with a level of respect It's my job to be upfront and present in the relationship, but it's not my job to make you happy. That's your job, just like it's not your job to make me happy. That's my job.
Well, I feel
Yeah,
like
I feel
like it's a woman's job to assist.
And I think to a sense,
she can help you become great. She can be your ally. She can be your friend. She can be all these other things to you. She can be your helpmate, but it is never her job to make you happy.
I agree with you on that, but I think at a certain point, you can try to help make him happy, but you shouldn't be his number one source of happiness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you should still set out to still make your man happy. It should be in your heart.
You can be pleasant and you can please, but happiness, y'all not hearing me. Happiness is your job. That's your job. Happiness is my job. Listen, every day we feel different about something. It is not your job to make me feel good about my day every day or about how I look every day. You can't do that. It's impossible to make somebody
I feel you on that, but my biggest thing that I'm saying here is, can you at least try?
You ruined the relationship. You ruined the relationship.
If we dial back everything Ron said, if I'm pleasant, if I'm consistent, if I'm hearing you, if I'm talking to you kindly, then I am making you happy, right?
Right.
Right.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But it is not my job to make you personally happy every day. I'm supposed to meet you with kindness and respect and love, but I'm not here to make you happy.
Hey, that's some good points. Shout out to the chat. Shout out Alexis Ferguson. Thanks for coming through. Shout out Tiffany. Shout out Melinda. Shout out Savage. D Thinks Out Loud is hitting, and Malika is firing away in the chat tonight.
Ooh, Tiffany, y'all lazy as hell. Can't even take responsibility for your own baseline happiness in life.
Oh my goodness, baseline happiness. That sounds like a mixtape.
Hey, look, man. Look,
I agree with that, though. I agree with that.
So what was Ron's number one?
We ain't get there yet. What's your number one, Arizona?
Come on, Ron.
Well, my number one, that's just basically, I feel like this is universal. Y'all done even had an episode about this, and this is just something I would say to like my sisters or any woman that any woman. Just have some type of discernment, because
have discernment.
This just me giving some advice to some women from being a man.
Break it down, Arizona. Drop the knowledge.
Just have some type of discernment, because I feel like a lot of times, like Dee was saying, it's a lot of stuff that we do that is the result of a lot of women being emotionally unbalanced and unstable and stuff like that. But I feel like, back to my number one, was a lot of women just don't have discernment. I don't think they pick up on like the signs of some of these men that just don't have their best interests. I just think that's just my number one. And I feel like when you don't have that, the relationship when you don't have that, the relationship was ruined before it even started. When you don't have any discernment, you ignore a lot of stuff. I done seen and been in relationships where a woman didn't even know that I ain't even see her. So my number one thing, I just want to tell all the sisters, just to get your discernment up.
Get your discernment up.
Start paying attention to it, man. Start paying attention to what he say, how he think, how he move. Do he have integrity? Pay attention to it all, and stop trying to save us, because I feel like that ruins the relationship and everything. So that's my number one right there.
My man Arizona saved his best for last at number one. What you think, D?
I fucking agree.
Get your discernment up.
Use your common sense.
Right.
We can't fix a man. You can't make him happy.
Because
I always tell, listen, you get what you got. Take some time and talk to the brother. After 2 hours, you know where a person coming from. You understand?
I tell my sister all the time, I feel like women really be thinking they're Jesus Christ, and they be really thinking that they
save
can
up
come
the
save a
thing.
man. And I don't think nobody can save nobody. I can't save a woman. Even
Whoa,
Project,
whoa.
they say don't
Absolutely.
save them because
Hey,
they don't want to be
They don't
saved.
want to be
So
hey,
saved.
but
at the end of
look,
the
I
day,
can't,
We are not Bobette the Builders.
I can't.
Don't build no man up either.
she,
He
she
better be
stopped
great
herself.
when you get him.
Look, you can't be in here. The busters came in here dropping gems. Discernment requires people to align what they want with what they're willing to
Yeah,
do. Woo,
yeah,
sweet baby Jesus.
boom, boom,
Hey,
boom.
absolutely.
hey, looky here, man.
Hey, round of applause to our guest, man.
Round
First
of
and foremost,
applause
man.
to
Thanks for
my
coming through,
guest,
y'all.
man.
D
Look,
Thinks Out Loud.
yeah,
Arizona Ron brought it tonight. The chat brought
look,
it tonight. What an episode.
look. We got to do this again. Let's talk about these number ones, okay? We cannot, women cannot be your happiness. You have to have women learn your discernment, and that goes to listening, right? The man uses the woman as their happiness, and unfortunately, I'm going to say this, it'll be controversial for most men. They equate their happiness through their sex life. And if the woman
Yeah,
doesn't give
yeah.
enough through that sex life, he's not happy. Stop looking for a woman to be your happiness. It is an inside job, right?
Preach, K Dizzle,
Women,
preach.
discernment. Please listen to what the man is really saying and what he is doing. If he only wants to take you out at night and he's talking about sex or intimacy or just giving you all the signs that all he wants to do is poke and move on a test drive, please have the knowledge and wherewithal to understand that's all he wants from you. And you only, after a while, you have to really be able to tell what this guy really wants and what he doesn't want. Stop getting mad at the men. Get mad at your decision. And you said you asking women to have common sense. You asking men to have common sense, but unfortunately, common sense ain't common, and it only comes through experience.
Learn from
And
your mistakes.
learn from your mistakes, or otherwise you keep doing the same one. Stop making all these videos talking about how all these men are dogs when you the dumbass picking the dogs. Okay, stop it. Same thing on the man side. All these women are hoes when you keep picking the hoes. Look
Yep.
at what you're working with, what you're dealing with, and what you're choosing. It's
Step up your
all
level of
about choices.
discernment.
Step your level of discernment. Stop looking for happiness from outside. And truly, they meld together because if you're happy from within side, you attract happiness on the outside. If you're
Outside.
happy with everything that's going on in your life,
Yeah.
then nothing but positivity becomes flowing into your life. The power of positive thinking is retarded. I don't want to go in and start preaching, but these things, man, these top fives, they all meld into each other. And the way that we got to where we are right now on the top ones is phenomenal. I didn't know, Hef didn't know,
No.
D didn't know, Ron
Hey,
didn't know.
before we go though, give your number one and I'll give mine before we end the show.
Oh man, my number one, because I have to be.
What's K Dizzle's number one way women ruin their relationship?
Women ruin their relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to give the man shit.
All right, go ahead and do the man. That's how you feel.
I can give the man because I have to agree with it 110% because I had to learn. I am guilty of it on a couple different occasions, and that's being present in the relationship and during at all times. And you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to do it because we as men, we go to work, we grind, we do what we do, we come home, we want to vegetate because sometimes we don't want to bring everything and put it on them, but we also want to be able to breathe. And sometimes when men come home, they don't feel like they can breathe because they have to deal with everything that the woman is dealing with. At the same time, she needs you to breathe and she needs you to be there. And you got to communicate and allow each one to be present on certain occasions and give each other breaks. Be present and be there.
We're the first generation where I think that's option.
That's you know what I'm saying. This first one is option. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was growing up, in the short time that I had my father, he was always working. My dad was working. I didn't see him. The only time that I have the memories that I have was when he took us out to do fun stuff. Outside of that,
On Sundays.
at home on Sundays, and then other fun stuff, and then Christmases and holidays stuff. Other than that, he was working. So that's just sometimes that's a generational curse, and we're trying to learn and be better.
And it just sometimes, like, as a human being and as a man, you got to have an individual relationship with every single person in your house. You can't just come there and just be like, I'm here. You gotta have an individual relationship with every single person in your house, your own relationship. That's my 100%. Part.
So check this out. So K gave his number one for men. I'm gonna give my number one reason women ruin their relationship, because I think my baby fell asleep. I don't see her in the chat anymore, so I'm gonna give mine now.
Fall asleep.
My reason is women are controlling. Ooh. And sometimes you can't make that man the person that you ideally want him to be. And it's kind of like the saving the girl type thing. Like, you see a guy who looks good, he's got the right, situation, but he might not have everything else, but you want to kind of mold him into be something that he's never really going to be, or his heart's just not in that place. Oh, she's here. Or, like with my baby, she wants me to wear tight, form-fitting clothes. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? But hey, Arizona, I can't be wearing no tight clothes. You know where we come from.
For that. Don't do that to my man. He's going to be out here looking like a can of biscuits. Busted can of biscuits out here.
I think a lot of women are controlling in the way because they don't want to be vulnerable enough, or they scared to get in that position where a man can take the lead because he might not. They scared of what the results might be.
Why they scared though?
No, they're not scared. We want to get out of the passenger seat. I mean, we want to get out of the passenger seat. We want to. It's just that we got to respect you enough that you can drive.
You don't trust us to drive. D thinks out loud.
Trust and respect, because if you've let me down more than one time, how can I say I'm going to trust you to do this job?
But you also gotta let the man be the man. And I'm not trying to take it further.
You're absolutely right. And I think women want men to be men, but men got to show up.
Or let me say this. You said women are controlling. Or is it their discernment, them not listening to that discernment that they hear and trying to fit that square peg into that round hole?
It could be a factor. That could be a factor, but I just think that we need more men in leadership positions, not at your jobs, but in your relationships and at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna honestly say a lot of stuff wrong with in our community, just period, as Black people. It all falls back on us. To be honest, it starts with us. So I can say that
absolutely. God and man, and then woman. Absolutely.
All right, I think it starts with us.
Tiff says women think they want a general or a co-pilot, but they settle for or choose soldiers, and men often get cozy in their soldier role. Looky here.
Say it, sis. Say it,
Looky here.
They know.